Today in the battle arena, we got two of the biggest cosmic threats in all of comics going head to head. Galactus versus Nekron. Who wins? Well, let's find out.
Hear the music.
I could do this all day.
Galactus is the famed devourer of worlds in the Marvel Universe, with his powers being nearly omnipotent. He uses energy from the core of planets and universal sources to sustain himself, and has appointed a number of entities as his heralds, imbuing them with the power cosmic. Like his heralds, Galactus gains his virtually limitless power by the power cosmic. For starters, he's able to manipulate creation, matter, energy, and universal sources. Galactus can erect nearly impenetrable force fields, project devastating energy blasts capable of blowing up planets and splitting them apart, and shoot lasers or give off radiation. He can open wormholes or portals to other dimensions or times, and can transport beings across the universe or even across time. Galactus can read minds across the universe, levitate and move matter via telekinesis, and even reconstruct matter or transmute it. He can turn matter into energy, or vice versa, energy into matter, can manipulate elements on the periodic table, manipulate souls and erase memories, repair or heal living tissue, and even resurrect the dead. Now, what's interesting is that the true form of Galactus is really unknown. Instead, he is perceived as the species of whoever is looking at him. So, to a human, he appears human, but to an alien, he appears as an alien. Now, even with all of this, Galactus is not entirely omnipotent. He possesses an insatiable hunger for the energy from planets, and this hunger is the greatest motivating force in his life. Because this energy not only powers Galactus, but it also nourishes him. This means that Galactus can starve, and in fact, die, if he doesn't consume enough planets. If this were to happen, it's stated that he would explode and take 100 light-year section of the galaxy with him. So that's what we got in one corner. But entering the ring in this cosmic battle, Nekron. So let's learn about our competitor. Nekron is the embodiment of death and darkness. He has the power to take and restore life as he pleases, contributing to the reanimation of many heroes in the past. Nekron has also recently become the leader and creator of the Black Lantern Corps, making Nekron the harbinger of the Blackest Night. Now, Nekron is extremely physically powerful. This is actually just straight up ignored attacks from Captain Atom or Wonder Woman, Cyborg Superman's heat vision, and has even ignored magical attacks and banishment spells. He's even casually taken a blast from the Anti-Monitor himself. And Anti-Monitor wasn't holding back in that instance either, considering that Nekron had been holding him as a prisoner, and Anti-Monitor was understandably pissed. Nekron even said that it would be just as easy to kill him as it would be to eradicate space itself. Because of this, the Spectre can't even harm Nekron, because Nekron isn't alive and doesn't have a soul to harm. He's drained the energy of the quantum flow by using Captain Atom as a conduit. He's able to fire energy blast powerful enough to harm and actually kill Guardians of the Universe, and he's capable of telepathically torturing people until they're actually begging for death. He's banished the Anti-Monitor from this realm. Alan Scott believes that him and Dr. Fate's combined power isn't enough to beat Nekron. He's actually imbued Krona with enough power to where Krona was able to condense the universe into a singularity, shrinking the universe by 1/6 its size, just under 24 hours. Nekron is also the one behind the resurrection of all our favorite heroes throughout the years. And since they're still technically connected to Nekron and to death, he can control those who once died and were resurrected just as easily as he's able to control the dead themselves. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, these are easily two of the most powerful villains in all of comics. And this is a fight that I'd absolutely love to see play out on the page. I mean, just seeing these two abstract level beings duke it out would be something else. So with that being said, which one of these two is more powerful here? I mean, that really is the question of the day. Just which one of these two is more powerful? Simple question, but not one with a really easy answer. Now, the first thing I want to take a look at is exploring just where these guys rank in the hierarchies of the universe. Because if one villain is on a different tier level than the other, well, that guy's gonna win. So just who is Nekron? Well, he's actually an embodiment of the concept of death, being the Lord of the Unliving. However, he's technically not the only embodiment of death in the DC universe. And death itself is kinda confusing when it comes to DC. I mean, after Captain Atom died, he was actually introduced to several different incarnations of death, including the Black Racer and Death of the Endless. Each of these guys were presented as a concept of death, with Black Racer being death as the inevitability, and Death of the Endless being death as mercy and release, while Nekron is seen as death as the ultimate opponent. According to Geoff Jones, he even considers Nekron to be one of the most powerful dark forces in the universe, if not the most powerful. He is the darkness, and defeating him would be just as easy as defeating time or space. However, on the other hand, while Mistress Death is technically higher than Galactus on the hierarchy level in the Marvel Universe, they do treat each other as equals. Mistress Death even refers to him as her brother, her husband, her father, and her son, being born at the same moment and being two corners of the great triangle that makes up the universe. So you could definitely make a compelling argument that Galactus and Nekron are on the same level. And on top of that Galactus is an abstract being as well. I mean, you could definitely argue either way, but Marvel has constantly grouped him in with other abstracts in the Marvel Universe. And at full power, fully fed, Galactus would theoretically stand on the same level as beings like Eternity and Infinity. Only thing is, Galactus' hunger is never ending. He's never been fully fed, and so he's never stood shoulder to shoulder as complete equals with other abstract beings. However, that still doesn't answer the question of which one of these two big baddies is more powerful. Now, Galactus actually has a lot more versatility than Nekron. He's just able to do a whole lot more stuff. He's able to fire energy blasts that strike with the power of 1,000 suns, defeat Celestials with one blast, and he's able to manipulate energy, stopping the pull of a black hole, and 2 stars actually went out just from being around him. He's able to manipulate matter, casually transforming his herald Terax into an earthworm, and he easily manipulated a guy who was powerful enough to one-shot Doctor Strange. He's able to create life, even creating a Tyrant, who is powerful enough to destroy galaxies, grow to the size of a star, and manipulate time, sending Sphinx back in time so he was forced to relive his life over and over again for all of eternity. In fact, Galactus is so powerful that in his fight against Tyrant, they were destroying galaxies. Then he's also battled against Scryer and the Other, 2 powerful reality warpers. In their battle, it was said that they could have destroyed universes. However, with all that being said, I'm not entirely sure just what Galactus could do in this fight against Nekron. I mean, Nekron has said in the past that you can't fight against him like he was alive, because he isn't. Nekron is death, and you can't eradicate death any easier than you could eradicate space. As powerful as he is, Galactus has never shown the ability to destroy space or destroy time, nor could he destroy the concept of death. On top of that, Nekron is able to casually take a blast from the Anti-Monitor, who was understandably going all out and was absolutely pissed, considering that Nekron had been keeping the Anti-Monitor as both a prisoner and as the power source for his Black Lantern Corps. Nekron then went on to refer to the Anti-Monitor as nothing compared to him, stating that Anti-Monitor had no place in his universe, and banished him back to the antimatter universe. Nekron also has two main attacks that are his go-tos: his scythe, and what I like to refer to as Rise. Now, his scythe has really only been used on two significant occasions, but they were both very impressive, as he nearly killed the very embodiment and abstract concept of life itself. And then when he went on to beat Volthoom with just one strike from his scythe. And Volthoom was powerful enough to destroy an entire army of Black Lanterns, trap the Guardians of the Universe, stomp Sinestro as he was possessed by Parallax, take combined attacks from every Lantern Corps, and has the power to manipulate and remake the universe. And Nekron took him out with one strike. Then there's his power to say Rise, instantly controlling any being who has died, forcing them to succumb to his power and become a Black Lantern under Nekron's control. Even the Anti-Monitor and Spectre were affected by this power and became Black Lanterns. And Galactus has died in the past, so it's not totally unreasonable to think that it wouldn't work on Galactus as well. I mean, besides the alternate versions of Galactus that were killed by King Thanos, or impaled with the Necrosword by Thor, or eaten by freaking zombies, the normal Earth 616 Galactus has been killed as well in the past, when Silver Surfer turned Galactus' own energy siphoning machines on the big guy. So like we said, totally possible that Nekron could control Galactus, just like he did with the Spectre or the Anti-Monitor. So, end of the day, who wins? Well, Galactus has a genuine shot here if he plays it smart. Nekron must have a connection to our dimension in order to remain here. And if Galactus is able to destroy that connection, then Nekron is sent back to his own dimension. Then he could always pull out the ultimate nullifier, which is capable of erasing someone from existence, destroying a solar system in a microsecond, and even laying waste to a universe. Not sure exactly what would happen if it was used against an abstract being like Nekron, but might possibly take him out. However, I do gotta back Nekron on this one. Galactus won't really be able to reliably injure Nekron or put him down. Nekron could control Galactus, and he could always just use a scythe to take him out, like he did with Volthoom. Nekron just seems to be more powerful here, and I gotta back him in this fight. Nekron wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to join the Fanco army, and I will see you all next time.